Story number 1, The Kitchen Ghost. I was sitting in our living room watching TV one night, and no one else was home. In the kitchen we have a fridge that has dual doors to open, and a lot of decorations all over it, including a small magnetic chime thingy. I'm sitting there when I hear the chimes ring, so I mute the TV and listened, thinking maybe a family member was home. Nothing happened, so I turn the volume back up and keep watching TV. A minute later, I hear what sounds like someone sneezing in our kitchen, and it didn't sound like any of my family's voices. I tensed up and thought someone had broken into our home. I'm shaking at this point, but I'm being quiet and listening. A few moments go by and I hear the fridge doors open and then slam shut so hard I can hear glass jars inside it rattling. I ran into the kitchen, ready to whoop someone's ass, and there was nothing. Told my family about it and they said I was just being paranoid. But we've had guests come over to the house and they say that it feels weird in there. Story number 2, The Tin Man. I used to be a babysitter. It was about 9 p.m. and the kids' parents would be getting home in like an hour or so. I had put the kids to bed, so I was downstairs by myself watching TV. However, every so often, the TV would flicker with static. To be honest, it was starting to scare the crap out of me. It wasn't until the point when I looked up from the TV and out of the nearby window when I lost my shit. There wasn't actually anything outside, but it seemed as if it was in the reflection. I saw what looked like a tin man standing not too far from me behind the couch. Needless to say, there wasn't actually anything there when I snapped my head around to look at the spot where it was standing in the reflection. I grabbed all my stuff and wanted to get out of the house then and there. Instead, I ran upstairs and sat quietly where the kids were sleeping until the parents got back home. For some reason, even though there were sleeping kids, being in the company of others calmed me down. I particularly remember when the parents came home and I had started to leave. I was pulling out of the driveway in my crappy old Ford Laser, and I looked up into the kids' bedroom window. The same reflection I saw earlier was looking back down at me with a hand raised as if waving goodbye. I never babysat again. Story number 3, The Presence. Once I was laying in the guest bed of my home, facing the wall, when I heard the door open. I thought it was my aunt, so I asked her if she could turn the lights off. But I didn't get a response. I asked again and still no response, so I just brushed it off. Then I felt something lay next to me in bed and thought it was her, so I turned around to ask her why she didn't respond, and there was no one laying next to me. I immediately got up and slept in my mom's room.